Welcome in, Wash.
Thank you so much.
We'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Hey, Wash, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Good. What can you kind of explain? We know how much you like to do, and constantly working. Do you feel like you've still been able to do what you want to do under these arrangements?
Without a doubt. Right before we left spring training, I thought we was right where we needed to be, and it took a couple days, and we're back to where we was when we left spring training, as far as our legs and our hands and the way we're moving around. I feel pretty good about where we are right now.
Hey, Wash, we talked to Ozzy the other day on this Zoom. He was wearing the mask. We've seen a lot of the guys that have really been saying they're taking these health and safety protocols seriously. When you see the young guys, though, I mean, what does that mean for you that you see so many guys that are really, buying in and taking this thing seriously?
Well, we're a class act. Our young kids are a class act. And I think they've proven that the past couple of years in the way they go about their business and the way they've been playing the game of baseball. And they know what's at stake here, and they're taking it serious. And, you've been hearing a lot about other teams around the league where they've been having problems. But here we haven't been having any problems. That's because our young kids have really, really, really been making certain that when they're away from the ballpark, they're taking care of themselves. And when they come to the ballpark, they take care of themselves. I think the message that we sent them, they have. And it's been great. It really has.
Hey, Wash, I don't think any of us are surprised you're here and working, but can you kind of tell us what that conversation was like with your wife and, any other family members that might have expressed concern, what you said to them, why you felt like you'd be fine here?
Well, my wife has never gotten into my baseball business. She's always allowed me to make the decision when it comes to baseball. Of course, she cares about me. And I trust Major League Baseball, the protocols that they have in, but I also trust me. And I'm going to make certain that I do everything I have to do to make certain that I can make it through this 60-game season and the playoffs, if all that's possible, and get home safely. So I'm masking up too. I'm doing everything I have to do. I'm staying distance from people. I'm only getting out when it's time to go to the store. My process is to the house, to the ballpark, to the house, to the ballpark. So my wife allowed me to make that decision. Of course, as most wives with this virus out here, this COVID-19 out here, they would like to have their loved ones at home. But she knows this is what I do for a living. She knows how much I love it. And she trusts me to do what I have to do to make certain that I stay safe.
And do you feel, now that you've been here for a week or a little bit more than a week, do you feel like the measures, when you get to that ballpark, do you feel safe? Everything Jeff go through?
This is very safe. You don't get in here unless you're negative. And that's the good thing. They're checking you in. And once you get in here, the training staff and medical staff that's here, they're like hawks. They're around making certain that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And, sometimes you get out there and you might get a little lax, but there's always someone in your ear making certain that you get back into the protocol. So it's going to be different, but in the end, it's baseball. And I personally feel the safest place right now is at the ballpark.
Wash, we know it was tough for the players when spring training came to an abrupt end. You love being on the field. You love being out there working with the guys. What did you do during those 3 months shut down to keep yourself ready to go?
A lot of honeydews, a lot of things that I thought I had already taken care of. When I got home, I realized I hadn't taken care of them. Watched a lot of TV, watched a lot of movies. Only left my home when I had to go to the store to replenish the supplies in the house. So I talked to my family on the phone. I haven't seen my family since I left for spring training. And even when I returned home, I talked to them on the phone. So, this is serious business. And I've just been trying to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can. And I'm very pleased with where I am right now.
Wash, how, somebody who, I'm speaking, from experience, I had to quit my nicotine habit. Have you had to make any changes you know, over the last few months to allow you to do this year?
Yes. I didn't smoke a single cigarette the whole time I left spring training on March the 13th. I hadn't had a single cigarette. So it's mind over matter. And I've been a strong-willed and a strong-minded person all my life. So you have to do what you have to do. And, you know, life changes, and you just have to go with it. And hopefully that the day will come that we get back to normalcy.
How much did you miss, you know, not just Ozzie, but, you know, we know what kind of bond you had with Ozzie, just being there with the players every day?
Miss it tremendously. That's what we do. That was the first time in, 40 years that I've been in New Orleans that time of the year. I've never been home that time of the year, so it was strange, but it's like anything else. You know, you got to make adjustments. You make adjustments in baseball, so you have to make adjustments in life, and you have to do it. I'm able to keep the roof over my house. I'm able to pay the bills that come through there. I'm able to eat, and I'm able to get up in the morning, and I have an exercise room in my house. So I'm able to sort of keep my mind strong through physical activity. So, I mean, that's what you have to do. Whatever adjustments you have to make it. The game of baseball is about adjusting, readjusting, adjusting, and readjusting, and it never stops. So life is in the same pattern. It never stops.
Ron, we've seen some other coaches, including on the Braves with Eric Young Sr., make the decision to opt out. Did you do you have any friends in the game who maybe talked to you and maybe sought your counsel or advice as you guys made these decisions?
I wish they were, but they weren't. No, I didn't talk to anyone about whether or not they was going to opt out. I mean, Eric has a drive for the game of baseball the same way I have a drive for the game of baseball, and he did what he had to do. Chili Davis is a good friend of mine. He has a drive for the game of baseball. He has a drive for the people around him to help make them better, and he opted out. So I think it's a personal issue. I feel good. I know I'm one of the high-risk guys, but once again, I trust the protocol that MLB has in place, and I also trust Ron Washington even more than the protocols of MLB. So, 60 games, I can hide out for 60 games. And if there's another 20 or 25 or whatever it is for the playoffs, I can hide out for that also and then get back home, and hopefully going into 2021, we have a clean slate. We can get back to normalcy.
Hey, Wash, who came up with the toe tap or whatever? A guy hit the home run and comes across third base there, and that was you. Proud of that one, aren't you?
He touched him, so I just stuck the foot out. Next thing I know, we started doing it. I don't think baseball is going to allow that, but right now we're trying to have fun. So, we just have to clap them as they come around. If they allow me to stick my feet out, that's what we're going to do. If they don't allow it, then you can't do it.
Okay, any last ones for Wash? All right. Go ahead, Mark.
You don't have anything?
Franco, is that what you said? Yeah, Franco, it's your turn.
Hey, Wash, can I ask if they talked to any of you guys, Franco, have they talked to any of you guys about being mic'd up? Would that be something that you would do during a game?
Well, in this situation, if they talked about being mic'd up, I would think it wouldn't be too bad because we can't communicate with the players. So I don't have to worry about watching my language. I don't have to worry about those type of things. I don't know what they would get out of me, since I'm not able to talk to the players. So I would have no problem with it. If we had a normal season, I wouldn't want the mic on me at third base. But we can't communicate with them, so I guess if it came up, I'll do it. They'll keep stuff in the dugout, I guess.
Yeah, you thrive on being upbeat. Did it take a few days for everybody to sort of get to the place where you guys could sort of feel like it felt on a normal day?
Well, I think with this young group we have, as Skip calls them, baseball rats, I feel like they came up in here already with a good attitude about getting ready to play baseball because that's what they love to do. And from day one, Yes, it was slow getting going, but we hit the ground and we went through the process that we go through in spring training to try to get ready. And once the first day was over, the second day got better, the third day got better, the fourth day got better. And then all of a sudden, we more or less had our routine. And now we show up, we go through our process, go through our routine, do what we have to do, and get out of here.
Any last ones? All right.
Thanks, Wash.
Thanks, Wash.
Thanks, Wash. Stay well.
Appreciate you.